What do we do about milk or cheese that turns out to come from a cow that was treif? You milk the cow in the morning, and in the afternoon you shech the cow. And when you shech the cow, you find out that the cow was treif. I mean, it's probably true that it didn't become treif that moment. It may have been treif for a long time. I mean, who knows how long you've been drinking treif milk. In other words, today, since you can't have milk and shech the animal at the same time, since you can't find out if the animal is truly kosher or not, it sounds as though you've kind of come up against a problem. That problem is dealt with in the Shulchan Aruch in Pei Aleph, Seif Beis. The Shulchan Aruch says, Gvinot shenasu michalav behima, cheese that's made from milk that comes from an animal, v'nimtza treifa, and later on you find that the animal was not kosher, treif, not edible, not worthy. Imhu treifos shevshar shelo irala elo ata. If the kind of treif that we're talking about had to happen very recently, kigon nikev krum shel moach, like they discovered that there was a puncture in the outside of the brain, of the repository, the skull of the brain, the chayotzibo, and other kinds of treifo. The assumption is that you can't live very long with that kind of treifa. Muteret, then the cheese or the milk is edible. V'amrina and hashtahu denitrifa. And what we say is that the treif happened right now. Aval im yadua shekodem shalcha nitrifa, shechalba nitrifa. If it's well known that there was something wrong with this animal before it became, before it was milked, and it became treif, right? Then there is no doubt that the milk is unacceptable. In fact, the Mechaber makes this rule. Sheyadua shel shlosha yamim kodem shchita haya v'kol hagvinot shenasu michelba asura. It's the 3-day rule. If you are fairly confident that 3 days ago this animal was kosher, then you could drink the milk. Then you can drink the milk from the animal. So you see that milk, even though it comes from a kosher animal, and even though we may not have any obvious reason to suspect that that milk is problematic, it might be. It might be, and since we can't wait 12 months, we milk a cow today, we can't put the milk away for 12 months just to see that the animal was not a treif on that day. Because that's what the Gemara says, that a treifa is an animal that dies within 12 months. We can't put it away for 12 months. So we have to depend on speculation, on assuming that most of the behemoth in the world are not treifot, and that this behemoth that we are talking about is also not a treifa. And because of this kind of combination, it's very important. It's very important to buy milk from a provider that is concerned about the health of his animals and their welfare, and feeds them properly, and takes care of them properly. But even in such a case, there are times when animals are operated upon for one thing or the other and get special injections for medical reasons. And because of those reasons, it is probably good, if possible, to buy Mahadrin milk, or Mahadrin kind of milk where there's a little bit more concern about these possible results. So to summarize, the milk, the custom of a kosher animal is kosher. If the animal is treif, the milk is not kosher. It's usually not easy to discover whether the animal that you've just milked is kosher or treif. So we base our position on assumptions. We assume that most of the animals in the world are not treif, and most of the animals can live a long time, especially today, where we are concerned and take good care of the animals that are being milked. However, if there is a reason to suspect, or if you discover that after shchita, after slaughtering the animal, that it was in fact a treifa, that creates problems for all the milk that you may have still that was milk from this cow. Further differentiation, the kind of treifa that comes upon you quickly and the kind of treifa that lasts a long time. In both cases, you have to decide whether the milk is kosher or treif. It may be, this you have to look into further, that the people who are responsible for what is called mahadrim milk are a little more concerned about all of these possibilities and take care that the chances that the milk is certainly kosher will actually be the case.